Talking about that swimming pool issue, we're trying to make the swimming pool safer, but we also are able to work with Minnesota businesses. We haven't had a Minnesota on the Commerce Committee since 1913 in the research, and it's actually a very powerful committee. There, McCain is on it, and Kerry, and a number of other senators, Trent Lott, and it's going to be, I think, a good thing for our state. And then I'm on the Environment and Public Works Committee, which is very appropriate for what we've been facing here in Minnesota. That committee does all the transportation funding and work, as well as all of the water projects. And we're going to be holding hearings this fall on infrastructure issues. I will say that the bridge falling down in Minneapolis, which is only 8 blocks from my house, which was an enormous tragedy. If there's any silver lining, it's that it spurred some discussion. It's going to be important for me that discussion in Washington is not just limited to metro areas. Being out in greater Minnesota, I've seen firsthand some of the challenges that you have with your roads and your bridges, certainly the floods. When you see those bridges washed out, the problems with the levees, when you see Highway 14 and some of these other road issues, I think it's really important that that discussion be extended and include rural parts of our state. So I'm going to be pushing for that. Other issues that we've been working on is energy bill and trying to take some of the giveaways to oil companies and put them into wind. We were just talking about the wind issues for incentives for more wind power. I saw the turbines when I was driving into town here, and then also have more incentives for alternative fuels. We actually had 58 votes for this huge finance package that would have done those things. And you would have thought, oh, well, that's 58 votes. There's only 100 senators, right? But in the Senate, how it works is you need 60 votes, or the other side can filibuster. Two of our senators, Tim Johnson from South Dakota, is going to be back after Labor Day, and then one other senator was gone. So we actually have 60 votes. We have to filibuster for that finance package. So we're going to try to bring that back and get that passed, and I think that'll be very good for this area. Other things we've been working on are the veterans issues and a change of course in Iraq. I went to Iraq in March and saw firsthand all the young men and women from small towns like this one all over our state that have been serving as part of the reserves and National Guard and active forces. I cannot tell you how brave they were. When they came up to me, they didn't complain about their tour extensions, which had been numerous. They didn't complain about their equipment or the heat. They only asked me really two things. One was, what was the score of the state hockey tournament? And the second was what I'd call their husbands and wives and their moms and dads when I got home to tell them they were okay. And I actually ended up calling 50 moms when I got home. And I can tell you they had a little bit different take on the whole thing than some of the soldiers. And we're very concerned for the fact that they've been staying so long. It's really a different age group that's been over serving us in this war. Average age in Vietnam was 19. Average age of the Guard from Minnesota is 33. That's over there. Many of them have kids, and so it affects whole communities and families, and I probably don't have to tell you that. So we've been trying to increase the benefits for veterans and make sure that they have the help that they need. We also have been working, I think there's going to be significant work on this in September, on a change of course in Iraq. We have at least 10 Republicans that vote with us on different measures, so I'm hopeful that we'll be able to get the 60 votes. I don't think we can bring all the troops home overnight. I think it's going to take a while. I think that we should start bringing the combat troops home with the understanding that some troops will remain for guarding our embassies and training the police and having there for special forces. So it's been a very challenging time to be in Washington, but it's been a humbling time to be the senator from Minnesota. I'm stepping great footsteps like Humphrey and Mondale and Wellstone. We have always sent senators to Minnesota who believe that they can make a difference. That's why I went there. It's been an adjustment for our family. We drove out in our Saturn with the high school and college dishes in the trunk, and I found a shower curtain in the basement from 1985. We got a small apartment there. Our friends visit from Minnesota, and my daughter does the invitation. She's 12 of our friends from Minnesota when they see this tiny little apartment in Roslyn, Virginia. They open the door and she says they always go, oh, this is nice. My husband is the first guy to ever be consistently involved in the Senate Spouse Club. It's mostly been women. And like Bob Dole and Bill Clinton came once and come again, but he actually helped to plan the First Lady's luncheon. And I knew things were getting out of hand one day when I was going out of the Capitol with Claire McCaskill, the new senator from Missouri. We were driving out and she says, is that your husband with that pink box? I go, well, yeah. And I yell to Jim Webb's wife's baby shower. And Claire yelled out the window, "That's the sexiest thing I've ever seen." Anyway, so we've been having fun. We have a great freshman class with people like John Tester from Montana. There's a lot of actual change in how the rural areas focus on this election, a lot more interest, and I think that's going to be helpful with the farm bill and how that's going to come out, as well as some of these other middle class issues. So I've been very honored to be there. I held the seat that Humphrey once held, and on his grave are the words that he said at the end of his life, to sit to the end, that people considered him sentimental about this democracy, but to the end he remained an optimist with joy and without apology about this great American experiment in democracy. And I can tell you that after 7 months in the Senate, I too remain an optimist. I remain an optimist because I've seen firsthand that we can get things done on a bipartisan basis. We got that money for that bridge in 60 days, 60 hours. When any one senator could have held it up. We are working on a farm bill on a bipartisan basis that I think is going to be good for the state. And I remain an optimist because people like you are willing to show up on a rainy day and stick it out and wait for me to show up, which I really appreciate. I think that's because you believe that we can make a difference as well. So I want to thank you for having me, and I want to hear about what's going on here and any ideas you have for what we can do better.